What's good, everybody? It's Day Day, and welcome back to another, well, not really story time. This is more of life advice. I'm making this video mainly for myself, so whenever I feel like this, it'd be a good reference point. And a lot of us do this, and basically, y'all already know, y'all already see the title, y'all probably already saw the thumbnail, y'all already saw all that. So, let's just get into it. Why you shouldn't compare yourself to others. Now, we all heard the simple saying, comparison is a thief of joy. It's a completely normal thing to come across as humans, as people. We look at others' accomplishments and we tend to compare, usually like tick for tack, to feel leveled. And that can become a big issue because usually what will happen is you'll become depressed or stay depressed in some of y'all's cases. And for me, social media was my main source of comparison. Think about it. That's self-explanatory right there. Like for instance, I was supposed to graduate with a bachelor's in spring of 2022, and I didn't. I got my associates instead. Associates 2-year degree, bachelor's 4-year degree. So for all my friends and people who started in university, they were graduating with a 4-year degree. Meanwhile, I'm sitting over here with my 2-year. And instead of feeling happy for them, really embracing them, being supportive, being the uplifting person I need to be in life, I felt horrible. Like I felt depressed. I felt less than, I had to get over myself, but that's what comparison do. And, despite that, the reason it says the thief of joy is because you could really be doing something great and you could ruin it just by comparing yourself all the time. Recently, like one thing I'll do is that I'll look at more successful YouTube channels and then I'll compare them to me, when in reality it's like I make good content, it just has to blow up. So I'm going to do what I do, which is what I love doing on YouTube. I'm going to make content because I enjoy doing it, and I'm just going to focus on the joy of doing that. The success and all that'll come later, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's the biggest thing to really take out of that. It's the thief of joy. You can't really enjoy yourself if you're not looking at your accomplishments and your talents for what they are. If you're always just comparing them to somebody who's at a higher stature than you are, And with this, jealousy is usually born from comparison. And then with that jealousy comes resentment. We often get jealous of those who have what we don't or cannot have. It's as simple as that. It could take something as small as that to just flip it. And with that jealousy, it can change the way you look at people that you're jealous of. You can start to be overly negative towards them. You could try to find and nitpick every negative thing with them to feel some sort of like equality or level balancedness. That's a word. And our hatred, and basically reflecting that, projecting that kind of energy, projecting that kind of emotion, that kind of action, it's usually a reflection of how we see ourselves. If you see yourself as great, you're not going to really care what anybody else's accomplishments are, or you'll be able to embrace the moment with them instead of getting jealous off of them or comparing yourself to them. So that's the biggest thing to take out of this, is that if you're a person who is finding yourself jealous of what others have, always comparing yourself, usually that's a reflection of yourself. You usually don't have good self-love. You don't see the value in yourself. You don't know your self-worth, and you need to work on those things first before you even start this whole journey that I'm talking about. Because like I said, once you start feeling good about yourself, once you start seeing the greatness in yourself, you're not really going to care what anybody has, to tell you the truth. No matter how much more success they have than you, no matter how much, in my case, because I'm a man, how much more women they have than you, how much more money, you're not going to care about none of that. You're going to be content, you're going to be fine with yourself, and you're going to understand that you have your own process, and that's okay. And at the end of the day, you shouldn't desire what someone else have, because at the end of the day, envy is a sin. I am a man of God to the best of my ability. Actually sound weird. I'm a man of God. I believe in God. I believe in God's teachings, all that stuff. And why is it a sin? Because like I said, envy can usually turn to hatred, and envy usually results from you not loving yourself. So that's why I put that on there, because even if you are a non-believer, I believe all the sins teach good moral lessons in general. Obviously it's not good to be greedy, not good to overindulge, not good to lust after something, have too much pride, all that good stuff. So, it's not I either way, non-believer or believer, the sins are very good things to go by because they can help, they level you out. You know what I'm saying? They're a good reference point to catch yourself, And at the end of the day, your blessings are always on the way. Like, I remember before I really like started embracing that, like I was struggling so hard, y'all. Struggling so hard to just like focus on my process, understand that my situation is my situation and only I can handle it the way I'm handling it. So that's the number one thing I want y'all to really take out of this, is that your blessings are always on the way. Even when it's down bad, even when life is suffering, understand everything is at a balance. Everything happens for a reason. If you had everything without the struggle off rip, you wouldn't really appreciate it. You wouldn't really embrace it. You wouldn't feel proud of it either. So you just have to look at it like that. That whenever you're going through a down point, you see everybody up, just know that your blessings are on the way. Don't sit there and just dwell on it, because then you're stopping it. You're stopping the process, But if you keep on working, if you keep on focusing on yourself, if you keep staying focused, blessings are always on the way. And at the end of the day, what I do is imagine having your own version of success. Why would you want to have what somebody else's have? Somebody else's. Why would you want what somebody else have when you can have your own version of that? Like that was another thing. Would you really want exactly what somebody else have when you can have your own version of that? And, I know in some cases it's not that simple. That's fine. But in most cases it is. You see somebody with a healthy family. Yeah. In some cases you can't do anything about the adults around you. But in terms of like your own family with your spouse and everything, you can do something about that. Money, at the end of the day, people overvalue money. It's just what it is. People way overvalue money. And it's understandable why it happens. Money you need money to survive, essentially. So because of that, people tend to prioritize it over anything, whether if it's quality time, whether if it's your body, your mental state. For a lot of y'all, it's really your mental state. People just really have a tendency to overvalue money because people think money can buy happiness. And I'm not gonna sit here and tell you no, it can't, because I'm far from rich. But I do believe if you have a rich spirit, then you can't really be controlled or swayed just by money alone. If you have you have to have a bigger purpose, and I think that's just good for people in general. You should have a bigger purpose than just money. And with the bigger purpose, the money will come. Like I told y'all, I'm not successful at all on YouTube, like money wise, but it's okay. I'll get there as long as I keep focusing on content, finding ways to make my stuff better. Temporarily work these jobs so I can save up to upgrade this laptop so I can really edit and go crazy. Until then, I just gotta work with what I have, and one day, pretty soon, next couple months, maybe next year, I have my own version of success, because I chased after it, because I didn't dwell on what others have and just kept looking. Oh, I want that. I want that. I want that. No, I don't want what you have. I'm gonna get my own, and we both can just elevate each other because you have your own version of success. I have my own version, and we can both go to the next level with that. Simple as that. The most important thing is how to combat comparison. The biggest thing for me is I recognize and I embrace my flaws. Even then, I'm not perfect at this, not at all. I still struggle with this. I think this is something, especially me being 22, I'm in my early 20s, so this will probably be something I'll struggle with for next couple years. But you have to do that. You can, it's okay not to be 100%. That's fine. Nobody's perfect, but at a certain point you do need to be easy on yourself, embrace your flaws, recognize them, and know that everything happens for a reason. Even if you don't understand why, you're gonna have to understand that like everything happens for a reason. Even the most cruel things to you, like everything happens for a reason. And it's not everybody's gonna be able to get to that point. That's okay, but that it works for me. Even the most horrible things that happen to me, like everything happens for a reason. And at the end of the day, it's life. Life is unfair. Some people are more fortunate than you. You have to accept that as well. I feel like a lot of people get salty because they're like, oh, well, you're only successful because your parents did it. Okay, so you're mad that their parents did the correct thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, like that's so bitter for no reason. Like, just understand, some people, they're born in the more fortunate positions, and you can't do nothing about that. You can't do nothing about the position you was born in. All you can do is work the best with what you have. And with that, understand it's your life, your pace. Yes, you may, this person, you know, who's in your age range, he might have started making six figures at 20, and you 20 and I'm 22. You know what I'm saying? Some people you might hear, oh, I was making six figures when I was 19. I mean, bro, that's great, but that's their life, their pace, you know, and you need to apply that to yourself. It's your life, your pace. I mean, half of the time, a lot of people don't really reach their peak till, shoot, I want to say mid 30s, honestly, or early 30s, maybe. I don't know. I guess people in their 30s would know better than I would, obviously. But obviously, 22, I'm not at my peak, not at all, and I'm nowhere near it. You know, so it's your life, your pace. Take your time. Understand your process is unique to you, specific to you, and can't nobody say anything about it. Can't nobody do anything about it. It's your life. Take your time. You know, there are some concepts you're going to get quicker than others, and there are some concepts you're going to have to take more time than others. Just understand, it's all a balance. And also, another thing for the young people in my age group, understand, some people peak early, and like it or not, you never, and I mean you never, want to peak early. So look at it, if you're in that age range and you struggling right now, you always broke, things is rough, you barely making ends meet. Understand, you never, compared to whoever you're seeing who's being successful at our age group, you never want to peak early. Because I look at it like this: life is suffering in a sense. So I'd rather have that suffering happen in the beginning than, oh, I'm straight in the beginning, then it just go down from there. Because obviously when you hit a peak, what's the next part? Start to go down, you start decaying, so for people to really get that, that's the best part of it. Understand, never peak early, never do that. And most importantly, above all, faith in God and yourself. And as long as you have that, you'll get to where you need to be. At the end of the day, understand God has a plan for all of us, and whatever that plan is, he will lead you to it. You will find yourself to it. You will find yourself where you need to be. You just need to keep working hard, keep being consistent, keep chasing, keep your drive alive, keep the motivation alive. There's a lot of things in life that are going to try to take it away from you, but please understand, that's just how the world's designed. People who don't have motivation or have the life drained out of them, they are easier to control, manipulate. They're easier to keep in a box, So just understand that, like, keep your drive alive. Have faith in God and have faith in yourself at all times. Even if you don't like yourself, even if you are down because you're comparing yourself, always have faith in God and yourself, because with that, you'll get to where you need to be. Just like this YouTube thing. If this YouTube thing is really meant to be, then cool. It's something I really believe I can do. It's something I know I can do. And I have faith in God that he has the best intentions for me. So it's a W either way. If YouTube isn't for me, cool. Because that means there's something better along the way that God has in store for me. And who knows, the skills that I'm learning from YouTube could lead me somewhere to better. You just don't know. And if YouTube is the path to go, cool. I'm glad I hit the dot. Glad, X marks the spot. You feel me? Yeah, that's the biggest thing I want everybody to take out of this. All of these things are going to help you combat comparison. And most importantly, actually try. There's going to be times where you're not going to be able to do this all the time. That's okay. I want people embrace the fact that you're human. It's okay to have shortcomings, but you cannot stay down. That's the biggest thing. It's never a problem getting knocked down, never, becoming, getting down. There's nothing wrong with that. The problem starts when you decide to stay down and you let that stuff define you. Do not let this little stuff define you. And yes, I say little because you need to conceptualize all of these things as beneath you. Comparison is beneath you. Depression is beneath you. Anxiety, mental illnesses, they're all beneath you. Anything that contributes to a negative version of yourself is beneath you. Addictions, all of that stuff. All you need is faith in God and in yourself, and you'll get to where you need to be. But yeah, that's basically it for sure. And with that, like and subscribe, comment, let's have a discussion on this. like I told y'all, comparing myself is, man, it's something you're gonna struggle with probably for your life, but you need to do your hardest to minimize the chances of that happening, you know. And like I told y'all, everybody getting their bachelor's in 4 years, and I'm sitting over here like, dang, I took 4 years to get a 2 year degree. You feel me? But it's just, hey, it's my life, it's my process, and at the end of the day, what I majored in school isn't what I really want to do for the rest of my life. You know, I'm fine doing it for a period of my life, but no, that's not what I truly want to do my whole life. So that's how I balance it out, you know. Meanwhile, a lot of these 4 year degree people, they got 4 year degrees and stuff they have no interest in. They were forced into, you know. So there's always, just understand, there's always a balance to everything, you know. And like with the successful YouTubers versus me, you know, or even successful artists versus me, at the end of the day, a lot of these guys are older than me. And even if they're the same age, that's a beautiful thing. I'm happy you were able to get there quicker than me. But I know mine's is on the way. I just have to keep chasing it. I have to keep breaking it down. I have to keep believing in it. I have to keep praying on it. I have to stay having faith in God and in myself. And with that, you know, in the name of Jesus, I pray that everybody gets through what they need to get through. You know, I pray that everybody ends up where they need to end up at. You know, I pray everybody embraces their shortcomings and become better people out of it, because you're not perfect. And that, bro, that's perfectly fine. You know, if you have friends, if you have people you trust, hold them close, because God will work through them to make sure you're okay. You know, so just understand that life is a journey. You don't want to peak early, bro. You don't. Yeah, nonetheless, I love you all. Just did a little quick video, you feel me? And just, yeah, on my block. And I spin it.